of Cobeth and Wayne Corden were left out of the league game at Nottingham Forest on Saturday, but they're back tonight. Paul Beasley, on loan from Manchester City, is ineligible for the FA Cup, so the manager reverts to a back four, and he hopes a solid midfield five supporting the one out-and-out striker, Tony Naylor.
Yeah, it can be very attack-minded, this formation that John Rush sends out, man, but it's also geared, I think, early on for these five in midfield. I think Talbot, when they lose the ball, will drop back in there, but it's very important that those five in the midfield area make life as difficult as possible for Arsenal, and I think that's where the strength of this team will be. Ahead of that, they have got good width in both Ainsworth and Corden, left and right, and they'll be up to them to push full-backs, Winterburn and Dixon back, and then hopefully get people forward. Talbot will definitely go forward, likes to run from the central area. Desperately important, if they're going to score, that they get people up and support the Naylor. I think you might find that Porter and Bogie will just kind of back play up rather than go ahead of it too much. But of course, they've got to keep it tight at the back, and it's very important that these five, in a night like this, play well.
Manu Petit, the one casualty for Arsenal from a jarring clash with Leeds at the weekend, though others like Dixon, Keown and Wright have been under treatment since then. Stephen Hughes, a scorer in last season's third-round replay at Sunderland, comes in for Petit. David Platt still out of contention with injury, and Tony Adams, who is close, though, to a comeback.
Well, nothing new about this formation. Pretty much what we've seen for most of the season from Arsene Wenger. That reliable, very reliable back five. Important that they start well for Arsenal. They might be under a little bit of pressure early on. Well supported with these four in midfield. They'll all work very, very pleased to see Hughes playing. I'm a big admirer of this young lad, and he gets the chance to impress his manager yet again. But of course, for Port Vale, it's so important, if they keep these two quiet, to have any chance of winning tonight.
Not quite as windy as it has been in the Potteries, but enough around the ground maybe to make the first touch a little more difficult than maybe the assured Arsenal players from the Premiership would like. Port Vale were 7th in Division 1 a couple of months ago. They've been in free fall since then. They're in the bottom four now, and they held the side that are currently 5th in the Premiership with a very solid performance at Highbury. So they've earned the right to bring Arsenal here. Now, what can they do? Arsenal very anxious to avoid further embarrassment since winning the Cup in '93. They've gone out to 3 then Division 1 clubs, Bolton, Millwall and Sheffield United. Porter sending it forward. Little Tony Naylor with that scurrying style of his. One of a number of players who's been here a good few years now.
That'll help them in certain ways, Martin, is that Bold and Keown are certainly used to having a lot bigger and more physical players playing up alongside them, but I'm sure Naylor will be all about movement across the two centre-backs, down the sides, down the channels. And centre-backs, big lads like those two, often prefer to stand and mark players.
Yes, and Tony Naylor would have been just puffing his chest out a bit if he's read some comments in the papers saying that Ian Wright has admired Naylor's work. Ian Wright back in the Arsenal team tonight. He was suspended from the first game. And also Lee Dixon returning. He was injured when Port Vale went to Highbury. Dixon's head. Here's Tankard, the left back, trying to involve Naylor. It's not just a case of being losing for Port Vale. They've found it very, very hard to get any goal power into their team. And Arsenal trying to undermine their confidence early here with a break from Bergkamp. Not quite in harmony with Wright then.
Just lost his footing, Ian Wright, just as Bergkamp released the ball. I'm a bit surprised, Martin, he actually plays this. He could have gone on and on, I thought. The three players were back, very deep, defending well. I think it's so important for Port Vale not to lose a goal early.
Here again. Bergkamp able to turn and take on Port Vale, and that's shrugged aside by Talbot. And Arsenal have got a free kick.
Yeah, I thought this was one.
Port Vale.
He just picked up the ball just in front of the back four. That gave him the chance to turn and go at them. I think that was a free kick. I think Talbot just eased him out of play.
On Saturday, it was a Dutchman, Pierre van Hooijdonk, who struck a spectacular free kick past the Port Vale defences. Nottingham Forest now maybe the Dutchman as far as current football values are concerned. Bergkamp, and well saved Musselwhite.
Well, it's good handling, that more than anything. This again's closely going wide of the post, but it's low, it's difficult to handle. He kept hold of it pretty well indeed. I think it helped, there's no great pace in the ball. Just ticked it over very delicately. But Musselwhite will be happy. The ball got into there and it stuck, it stayed there.
Dixon beating Corden in the air. Here goes Parler at pace, getting the better of Bogey. Ray Parler, rolled from the goalkeeper's grasp, and one wondered from this angle whether it was going to trickle inside the post.
Again, it's a good attack because someone puts a bit of pace into it. It's a little direct. I mean, that one did get through, whereas Bergkamp's free kick stuck quite comfortably. Musselwhite looks very unconvincing there.
Arsene Wenger, who has a pedigree as a cup-winning coach in France. He won the French Cup with Monaco. He won the equivalent tournament in Japan with Grand Prix 8.
You might find this one a little harder than most two.
The fourth round he went out in last season at home to George Graham's Leeds United. Can't have been an easy one to take. Here's Hill. And Hill goes on. Naylor! Chance for Port Vale! But not a goal for Port Vale. They're jumping up off the bench. And that's been their story recently. They just can't get a goal, but they looked good enough to get one here.
Great stuff this was, and all to do with Andy Hill at right back. And this is great feet from Naylor, and he's so unlucky. He took control here of a very difficult ball from Hill. When he just lays it to him here, he's under pressure, he gets it under control, he gets a little bit of luck when it dropped at him off his knee. And then just when you want it to hit the outside of your right foot and bend in towards goal, he gets it going the other way. And this is by inches.
The wrong side of the instep, the wrong side of the post. But a really promising attack from the Division 1 club.
You know, that's the reason why the other stats won't bother them. That's the reason why you accept pressure. You accept that you're going to have less possession for a chance like that.
Dixon. Will Arsenal be able to hit back straight away? Only if Paul Musselwhite misses a slice cross. Keogh, another who might not be fully fit, as we keep Weathereye out for the state of Ian Wright. Just jogging away to the left-hand side now. Bergkamp nearer to the build-up in a forward position, but Arsenal happy just to keep possession and bide their time. And here comes Keogh. Now Bergkamp, right, coming in from the left. Oh, and the pass was on. And Wright knew it, just clapped his hands in frustration that the ball didn't get through. Tankard. Still Alan Tankard.
Oh, well done, son. Yeah, good bit of enterprise. Almost on his own, decided, I'll go. He's taking this ball 30, 40 yards, had a little look, was there any support? And decided, no, I'll just go on my own. He earns his side of corner.
Port Vale's first corner. In towards Hill, who gets the flick on. And And the space that Andy Hill has vacated, and Mark Overmars has accelerated into it. The cross goes Aspin. And Overmars hits the inside of the post, and it seemed certain it must go into the net, but it didn't. Along the line, past the other post.
Well, what a, not a chance, but what a great effort this is from Overmars. He just takes his time, he just sucks him in, and then he just passes it. He knows exactly what he wants to do. How on earth has that stayed out? Quite incredible. Side foot. It's a little pass past the goalkeeper, not a shot. And you think it must go in. The wind is in its favour, the spin is in its favour. How on earth has that stayed out?
And what will that mean in the context of an FA Cup tie? Well, Naylor does win a header against Bold. Not exactly built like Duncan Ferguson. And Port Vale get a free kick, which they take quickly. Tanker. Now caught. Skipping beyond Fowler. And Ainsworth!
You won't get a better chance than that to put your side ahead in an FA Cup tie against a team from a higher league. This is a great ball in because there's problems all over it. And you just need to keep it down. That's all. You keep it down. All right, it might not be the easiest thing in the world, but hit the target, and from 5 yards, you must score. You must score. From one winger to the other. And he should give his side the league.
Well, it was Duffy and McCarthy in the past. It's Corden and Ainsworth, the young guns for Port Vale, still learning their trade. John Rudge telling me before the game, we still can't expect too much of them. But the pass was splendid. Ainsworth, you have to say, was in the perfect position, and that's a compliment to him. He is a player who comes here to the higher level with a good goal-scoring record. He got 24 goals for Lincoln City last season. This is Overmars. Bergkamp! Well, the scene was set, wasn't it, for the more internationally renowned player to show what finishing is all about.
Oh, he fizzed it. The touch took it into the air, and that helped him in many respects. Doesn't kill the ball, but it sets up quite beautifully for him to volley it. It tried very hard to dip under the bar. Not quite enough. And there's suddenly a half that's promised so little. His finishing promising quite a bit more. Two excellent attempts.
Well, it's been very intriguing here because of the way Port Vale have played, almost prepared to be an away side at home out of respect to Arsenal. But they could have had a couple of goals. This is the first chance for Naylor. And then Ainsworth late in the half, also with a great opportunity. But in between, Mark Overmars running a great distance, placing the ball beyond the goalkeeper and seeing it hit the inside of the post and go along the line and stay out. Ainsworth, as I say, putting it over from close range. Gone 10 games in all without a win. In those 10 games, they've scored just 3 goals. And another frustrating 45 minutes in that sense for John Rudge, but Andy, not in the general sense, because the strategy of not going too gung-ho and making Arsenal do a lot of the creating of the play has worked pretty well so far.
I think so, man. I think you set your stall out in a game like this when you're regarded as the underdogs, and John Rudge has gone to great lengths, I'm sure, since the first round or the first match at Highbury. And he set his stall out to be tight at the back, not give too much away, not push up, try not to get caught in behind, and then maybe just occasionally, if we get 2 or 3 chances, can the lads take one? And it's worked at the moment. The only thing that's let them down has been the thing that they found most difficult of all recently, and that's scoring goals.
Arsenal 12 times finalists, and on their way to their very first Wembley visit 71 years ago. They did put out Port Vale in the 4th round then. That's the only previous year the clubs have been paired together in the FA Cup. And once more, Neil Aspin, he doesn't push up too much. He recognises that players like Overmars and Wright will have the drop on him for speed, but when he's needed, he's there.
He was needed there, but that's the first time Ian Wright's dropped into midfield, picked up the ball. He really turned Schneiders in the middle of midfield quite beautifully, and he was away.
Trying to connect. Port Vale have pulled everyone back, so their runners are starting from deeper positions, but they've got one or two breaking forward, but Bogey can't squeeze it on, and here comes Winterburn, and suddenly Port Vale en masse have to turn and retreat and worry again about Ian Wright, but yet again Neil Aspin comes out as the boss in an important situation in his own penalty area.
Well, he's ready to play very well tonight. You look at Aspin, he's not even interested in going marking Ian Wright. He's marking the space behind them. He's got an idea of where Bergkamp's going to play the pass, and he's guessed right.
Keogh. Now Vieira. And Hill worried about Overmars getting behind him with the ball. When he got back, he used his own physical bulk to see off the Dutchman. Here's Court. Tankard going ahead of him down the Port Vale left, and suddenly there are a lot of white shirts forward. Bogey. He's always confident of his own ability to hold the ball under challenge, Ian Bogey. Ainsworth! Well, he's coming at the back post again.
Now he's got two great positions. This wasn't as easy as the first one, but it's still a chance again. It's a great ball. It really is fizzed across. It's there to be volleyed. He's perhaps a little bit on the stretch. I thought he might have taken a touch on this. He's ahead of Overmars. I think he could have put his foot on that, steadied, and then pulled the trigger.
Overmars. All right, took men out of the way, and Tankard, who's already got a suspension coming up. If Port Vale get through, he will miss the fourth round tie, as will Schneiders. But Alan Tankard gets another booking here.
Well, I think he's getting booked as much as the fact that he stopped Overmars going and getting a clean shot at goal, and as much of the tackle. I don't think it was that bad a tackle, but Overmars would have been clear. He would have been edge of the box, and he would have been striking at goal.
Is it going to be Arsenal to supply it with Bergkamp? Right, Keown, in goes Ian Wright. The flag is up, the flag is up, the ball is in the net, but it's ruled out for Wright.
Flag was up very quickly. There's all sorts of movement here. We're interested to see just how close this is, and it's when Martin Keown has the shot. That's then is he offside? He's not. Overmars is, but is Overmars judged to be getting involved in the play? I don't know. That might be a tough call on Arsenal and Ian Wright. He's certainly not offside.
Tankard. Oh, Naylor hoping to just angle the pass there to the runner to his left, who was Porter. Just explaining what he was trying to do. Didn't quite come off, but Port Vale get the throw. They continue to hold the might of Arsenal, and maybe more than that. It was Naylor, and some of the ground thought it was in because the shot hit the net, but the wrong side of the post.
Great link-up, smashing link-up, ball played in the Talbot. That's a lovely little chest pass. That's a chance, you know. You see that from there. That's a glorious chance. Sits up lovely for Naylor. It's there to be hit. Oh, he'll be disappointed he hasn't gone across David Seaman and really tested him.
Well, he's gone 9 games without a goal. He's the type of forward, when he gets on a roll, they do fly in. He's got a very good scoring record, but on the leaner spells of his career at the moment for Tony Naylor. Bergkamp. Parler. Well, he's opened it up for himself. A cross by Dixon, and a corner for Arsenal.
Well, I don't think Dixon expected the pass, Martin. I think Ray Parler, when he gets in here, I think it's Bogey who slips just there and he's through. I think everyone thought he was going to pull the trigger. just forced Lee Dixie to go a bit wide.
Well, Arsenal fans will feel it's time that one of the famous corner kick routines work for them, involving Steve Bold and Ian Wright.
Oh, what a save, son. What a save. Well, this is not near post for Arsenal, but they go back post. Boldy just helps it in, turns and hits. The right hand comes up, and it's only fingertips. Only fingertips, but fingertips were enough. This is going in, but oh, there, what an important touch.
Bold again!
Well, that's an even better save. What a little help from his friend on the post. That's his night so far. This time Bold doesn't need any help. What a stop that is.
Winterburn. Morte. Hughes. And there's no flag. Morte. Bergkamp. And a wonderful clearance from Tankard.
That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. The goalkeeper goes missing here. I don't know where he's going. For the first time Aspen steps up. He hasn't done it all game. And you think, well, he's done it. And that is absolutely brilliant defending. Well done, son. You kept your side in the FA Cup. Great defending.
Here comes the corner. It's over Tankard this time. And Corden gets it away. Well, Morte certainly caught Port Vale pushing up. And whether Dennis Bergkamp deliberately was looking to just loop that goalwards or whether he just got under the ball.
It might have just been a touch behind him as well, Martin. That might have been influenced the little chip. Perhaps he saw Tankard out the corner of his eye and just thought, well, I'll just dink it over him.
Ainsworth. Talbot trying to get there. But Gray Parlour still full of running. Arsenal did have a tough contest on Saturday against Leeds. A lot of baggage coming with that fixture these days. Bogey. It was no easy game for Port Vale at Nottingham Forest, where they were users to a late goal. Dixon. Halfway through the first period of extra time. And already a major moment in the story of this cup tie in extra time with Tankard's resilience. Well read by Schneiders. Here's Porter. Well, you knew what he was trying to do.
Well, normally in the Premiership, when you see matches, Martin, you can't make excuses for passes because the ball doesn't often sit up, but that one did. But he's the man that's kept his team still at level terms. And I just wondered, is it a little bit behind Bergkamp? He certainly looks to get it in the air. Yeah, he does scoop up deliberately. I think he might have spotted Tankard and thought, I'll just lift it over him. Super defending.
Anelka. Bergkamp. Oh, it's a great try, and Dennis Bergkamp has produced a magnificent goal, true to character, and it might be good enough to put Arsenal into the fourth round of the FA Cup and kill off these persistent opponents from Division 1.
What a goal. What a goal. That is Bergkamp at his best. Aspen doesn't give him much room. He just stays off him. He says, go on, beat me if you want. Wasn't in Dennis Bergkamp's mind. He just shifted it onto his right side. He knew where the goals were. They're not going to move. He doesn't look up. He just kills it quite beautifully. Past Musselwhite. What an exquisite goal.
Well, third round replay last season at Sunderland, exactly the same. And it helped Arsenal through. Stephen Hughes also scored in that game, but tonight Dennis Bergkamp, who, like all his team, found it hard to shrug off the efforts of John Rudge's team. Well, now comes the willing runner, Talbot, and on comes another player who's really played a part in the years here for John Rudge, Martin Foyle, who's a 34 now. And he is a genuine striker, so they've got to go with two up top now. Do you remember that goal at Roker Park?
The little drag back, edge of the box, and then curled it quite beautifully into the far corner. Not as much angle on this one, but look how much he shifts it. What, a foot? Just to open it up, and that's beautiful. It had to be special to beat Musselwhite tonight, because he's got in the way of almost everything. But I don't think there are many keepers around the world that would have got anywhere near that, even he.
Just wonder whether this will restart Dennis Bergkamp's season. Of course, blistering form in the early months, awards left, right and centre, fantastic goals, and the suspension which slowed his campaign. Here's Boa Morte, nothing slow about him, and trying to hit the goalkeeper then that he was going to go across the face of the goal.
Oh, what's he doing? Ray Parlour should give him an absolute volley here. Ray Parlour can walk in here and clinch the tie, and Boa Morte tries from, well, not an impossible angle, but I don't think he's ever going to score there. If he just looked up, rolled it across the penalty area, hit the penalty spot, Ray Parlour could have taken his pick.
Snyder's headed by Foyle, doesn't reach its target. And Arsenal pressing on now with all the optimism of a team that's got the lead. And Vale, well, all their work that much more laboured, because they can feel their place in the FA Cup being taken from them. And how often over the past couple of months have they been in this position, whoever they've played, unable to get a goal when they so badly need one. And that's the problem that John Rudge has got to address, clearly defensively. Well organised, well drilled, but it's not looking as though it'll be enough tonight. We shall see. There's still 10 minutes of extra time to go. And if they do go out this way, at least they can reflect Neil Aspin and company that they've been beaten by a master stroke from the Dutch master. Back to Winterburn now. But Port Vale forfeiting possession quickly. Hughes, Nelka. Not a case of going for goal when a better option wasn't explored. He could have played it just to his right to Grimondi. And it was Ray Parlour, the aggrieved party a minute or two ago, who was raising his arms and turning away, thinking we should be doing better than this. Well, some of the Port Vale support has lost its edge. They are fearing the worst around the ground.
I think this late on the Gold Cup, I think that's a factor as well. A lot of tired players now in white shirts out there.
Ainsworth hasn't come into that category. Good thinking by Foyle from the throw. Get it back to Ainsworth again if he wants. And he does. Gareth Ainsworth for Port Vale. And the level! Wayne Corden! They found the goal! And there's life in the tie still!
Magnificent goal. Quick thinking. Lovely football. And this time, it's Ainsworth the provider. Corden coming in it. And can he finish this time? You bet your life he can finish. What a setup this is of a cross. Absolutely top draw. And that wasn't an easy finish. It just bounces just as he hits it. But this time, he does keep it down. That's a super finish.
Well, Arsenal starting to think about round 4. Wayne Cordon has other ideas. John Rudge's team have shown their fighting spirit, and the 22-year-old gets his first goal for the senior side at a most timely moment. It's Port Vale 1, Arsenal 1. Mills. Cordon on the scene. Andy Littlewoods, man of the match. You have voted Ray Fowler. Andy Gray, I think you would have seen the non-stop work from the Arsenal midfield man. Not an easy match to select the award winner from.
No, I wouldn't argue too much with that. I think Port Vale have had a lot of good players playing for them, and they've needed a lot of good performances. When you think of the difference in the ability, the level that they play at, well, I wouldn't argue with Ray Fowler as Arsenal's best player.
We go to penalties at Vale Park. Tremendous effort by Port Vale to hold Arsenal home and away. And Wayne Cordon came up with the goal that takes us to the shootout after Dennis Bergkamp had struck one of his specials and put Arsenal in the box seat, but not into the 4th round. It was a great equaliser, and both goals worthy of an excellent cup tie. And now the two managers have to sort out penalty takers. Well, Ian Wright would certainly have been in that 5 for Arsene Wenger, but he's gone off. Maybe Overmars would have been as well. I'm not so sure about Patrick Vieira. And the goalkeepers. David Seaman, who's been in so many a shootout and served Arsenal and of course England well. Go on, man.
Sorry, man, I'm just saying, you just can't predict these situations. You don't know how they're going to go. So many factors come into it. People's personalities come into it. How you handle this situation.
Well, Neil Barry has to get the formalities sorted out here. Steve Bowles still smiling, but who'll be smiling when this footballing lottery is over? Lottery it may be to watch. It's absolutely fascinating, and it always has its critics settling important matches this way. In the past, of course, it would have gone to another replay. Those days are long gone. The goalkeepers' union, Musselwhite and Seaman. And the man who left this part of the world to go and play for Arsenal 10 years ago this month. His part with Stoke City recognised by the supporters, but I fancy every Arsenal penalty taker will get this sort of treatment. The penalty shootout starts with Lee Dixon. And Musselwhite has saved it.
What a start for Port Vale. What a start. Great save. He elects to go left, he goes left positively. You're a goalkeeper and you go one way, go all the way. He did that. Not a great penalty for Lee Dixon. Nowhere near the corner.
Well, Bill did, and the Port Vale coach was telling me before the game, you know, we haven't had a penalty for 2 years. Andy Porter is their regular, if you can use that word in the circumstances, penalty taker. And scores and shows his prowess. 1-0 in the shootout to the side from Division 1.
Great temperament. This is all about temperament for me. He steps up, he knows he can give his team a big start, and he's done just that.
Second up, the man of the match, Ray Fowler. But is he a man for the 1-1, but Arsenal have taken one penalty more.
Nicely done. Guesses right again, goalkeeper. Penalty's too good.
Well, it's not just a case of taking penalties, but it's who you're taking them against. And Gareth Ainsworth, who was really impressed in the match, now has to try and better David Seaman. And he does with power, up into the roof of the net.
Enjoy it, son. Well done. His third chance of the night. His third good opportunity to beat David Seaman. And this time he takes it.
Well, if you had to back anybody for their nerve to hold, it would be this man. Arsenal need him to score. And Bergkamp does, with the minimum of fuss and the maximum of efficiency.
Well, he's fizzed this in. It's past muscle white barely before he can move. That's superb. You just don't save them.
But it keeps the pressure on Port Vale, but Port Vale have the extra penalty in their favour. It's 2-2. Ian Bogie, a skilled taker of free kicks. But now he has to compose himself. And he takes on Seaman, and Seaman has stopped it. So we're very much all square again.
Good save. You wouldn't bet against him saving 1 out of 5, David Seaman. He needs to come up with the goods, and he does. Again, much like Lee Dixon's penalty. Not into the corner, not great. And if you guess the right way, you're going to have a chance.
Well, it's a signing from Portugal, Boa Morte, and he scores. And so Arsenal have the lead.
And now you're talking pressure, Martin.
And the pressure is on the shoulders of Mark Sneijder. Suddenly, the initiative has swung back the way of Arsenal, but Sneijder's keeps Port Vale very much in it. John Rudd relieved.
Good penalty, sir. Right in the corner. Side netting, it hits. Just about perfect.
So here we have 4 taken by both clubs, 3 scored by both clubs.
Well,
There's not much margin for error now, is there?
Now sudden death, isn't it? Now sudden death.
Little silent prayer from Arsene Wenger, and Hughes answers the prayers.
Another good penalty. Again, side netting. When they hit that firm into the side netting, they're not usually saved.
Well, Alan Tankard, who made that wonderful goal line clearance, now has to score to extend the shootout. Tankard has missed. Arsenal are through by the narrowest of margins. Arsene Wenger will take his team to Middlesbrough in the 4th round. Poor Alan Tankard. Poor Port Vale. They contributed so much, but they go off the pitch beaten and out of the FA